Welcome into the Primetime Sports Expo. I'm Michael Knight, sitting here with the founder of Primetime Sports, David Stevens. David, first off, thank you for sitting down with us here this afternoon. We're here at the Expo. There's a bunch of basketball players running around here to the different booths and the different vendors. You got a couple basketball goals as well. And this Expo is such a great kickoff event for what's going to be a fantastic week here in the Dallas area.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. I want to thank you all for being back as well, and you're a great value add into the experience, and we do appreciate your being here. We love the Expo. It's I shared with you in an earlier interview that when I created the Expo, I said I wanted two things. I said I wanted it kinetic, I want lots of energy, and I wanted it loud. So if we use those two criteria, I think it's mission accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear the music in the background. I mean, you got a DJ for this event. I mean, it is without a doubt loud. So you at least got that portion of the Expo down. And it seems like you just look at the players walking around here. They're having a blast. And it's such a great kickoff event for what's going to be a very busy and hectic 4 days for these players.
It really is. And, again, one of the contributing factors was these young people are getting ready to play some hard basketball for the next 4 days. They're going to compete. They're going to win some. They're going to lose some. I like today because today's about being a kid.
Yeah.
Today's about being a young person, a young athlete, but you're having fun. It's truly just the joy of the game and being with your teammates and having a good time. And that was the objective of the Expo. And, again, I think we're getting that done.
Now let's talk about the tournament. It starts on Thursday. It runs all the way until Sunday. This is the Primetime National Championships. Champions will be crowned on Sunday afternoon. Over 800 teams this year. This thing just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. You mentioned, our involvement the last several years, and every year I come to this thing, I'm surprised every year. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised at this point. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It does, and it's the results of a lot of great people working really, really hard. It's vendors and support like you all. It's my office team. It's my site team. It's the people in the room next door checking people in, and a lot of people make this happen. And we're at 831 teams. That's a record number of teams. I've already announced that next year that goal's 1,000. So we're going to go for 1,000 next year. So. Nearly 2,200 games, 60-plus courts, 14 venues, a lot of basketball in 4 days.
Yeah, and we're going to be taking in a lot of that basketball over the next 4 days. Really excited to get out amongst the Dallas area, whether it's DeSoto or Frisco or wherever it may be. There's basketball all over. And you mentioned the people kind of behind the scenes. And when you're running a tournament like this, you have to have a lot of people in a lot of different areas. How important is it for the people who maybe don't get a lot of credit, on the front end because they are behind the scenes? There's a lot of people that go unnoticed but are very important to what happens here.
Well, you're absolutely right. And if we just talk about the competition side of it alone, obviously we have the game, we have the officials. We had 2 officials training sessions last week for Dallas officials. At 5 o'clock today, I have the training session for the Houston and out of Dallas officials. We had 2 training sessions for staff on Sunday, one for our table workers, the guys running, gals running the scorebooks and the clocks, and then we had a separate one for our site workers. They're the one that manage the event and make sure all the right things happen then. And again, I've got another one of those training sessions today for the site workers that come in here. We literally bring in hundreds of officials and hundreds of workers to pull this event off.
And now I know I asked you this last year, but I'm going to bring it up again. The Dallas area offers so much in such a tight area, whether it's, like I mentioned, playing in Plano or Frisco or DeSoto down south of Dallas. There's so many venues in such a close proximity where you're able to pull off a tournament like this compared to some of the other bigger metro areas in the country.
I've had the opportunity to travel the country and look at other markets and visit other venues. There are other markets that we exist in and have had nice events and will continue to have nice events. There simply isn't a place that I have found in the continental United States that has the quality facilities that we have here in Dallas, from the Frisco Fieldhouse with 8 courts just north of here, a couple of minutes. 3 PSA facilities with 8, 6, and 6. Over here we got IAD, and here's the crazy thing. A year from now, there's going to be a brand new 9-court facility in Grapevine and a brand new 8-court facility in Mansfield. So we're going to have even better gyms or newer gyms and more of the same that we've had. And that's one reason that 1,000 number keeps coming up, because I'm going to have the gym capacity to get it done. I'm just going to have to rely on our market managers and that staff at the office to drive that participation from 131 to 1,000. We were up 106 this year.
Great.
I had 106 next year. Heck, we're within 50. Why not?
There you go.
So let's go for it.
Now, I notice on the Primetime Sports Polo, you have a Dallas Cowboys blue star on the sleeve, and underneath the Primetime Sports, it says something else. Why don't you introduce us to the new owners of Primetime Sports?
Well, it's been a crazy year, and last month, ownership of Primetime made the decision. We sold the Primetime Sports operation to a startup entity called Blue Star Sports. And the Blue Star is not by an accident, and yes, it looks a whole lot like a Dallas Cowboys star. The Jones family is one of the partners, but they're not even the biggest partner. But it is a undertaking that is dedicated to build an integrated ecosystem in the youth sports area. It's going to, on the technology side, on the web development side, on the training side, and while they were putting all that together, they said, you know, we might also want an event operator. And so they did. They came to us, and we talked about it for months, and we finally put a deal together that's going to be great for both of us. And we are now the event operating division of Blue Star Sports. And from here, we really see, and the ownership and C-level guys at Blue Star see the opportunity for Primetime Sports to take this great success that we've had in the Southwest region, extended a bit beyond Chicago and Atlanta, and truly develop one of my dreams, and that is to be a national brand. If you think about it, there's not a true national brand in basketball.
Right.
Lots of really good regional brands, but not a true national. AAU's close, but it's a little different model and a different little structure. We happen to being developing a partnership with AAU. We're going to run some AAU events at a level that we've never partnered with them before. So it's going to let us expand there. I think the expo will be bigger and better next year. We're going to do more on the recruiting services. We're going to do more on the media side. So there's an infusion of capital, and not just not only capital, but relationships and reach that as hard as we worked, we couldn't get there as quickly as we can with these people. For example, next door is the Primetime Exposure event circuit. We launched that this spring, and it was absolutely well received. Teams loved it. If you go out this week, you're going to see especially in the older boys divisions, the competitive play is going to be elevated. We have some of the best teams in the region in the older boys, and I will tell you right now that our 6th and 7th grade are probably the best competition that'll happen nationally this year. And a lot of it has to do with this exposure circuit that we created. Now, we've created what it says is Exposure Circuit Southwest. There will be Southeast, Southeast, Midwest, Northeast, and West Coast. So we're going to begin to put those together that will help us from as a league operator perspective, but will also impact us again from the media side, from the recruiting service side, from just providing the services and the products that all these young athletes need, and all these parents of these young athletes need. Not only need, but we need to deliver it in a way that is affordable and delivers the value and the experience that they expect.
It's an exciting time to be involved with any kind of Primetime Sports event. With the acquisition of Primetime Sports by the Blue Star Sports Company. Very excited to see what the future holds. The goal is already set for next year, 1,000 teams.
1,000.
It's 831 this year. We'll see if we can get it up to 1,000 next year. I'm already looking forward to seeing what 2017 holds for the Primetime National Championships. David, thank you so much for sitting down with us this afternoon.
Thank you guys all for being here. It's really a great contribution to the success we've had.
For David Stevens, I'm Michael Knight. Enjoy the basketball this week in Dallas, and we'll talk to you again soon. For David, I'm Michael, and this has been another session here at the Primetime Sports Expo.